is the devil really true? Does it really exist? Or do you think it's a calling?
Jason, I have received a message from the Lord. Now is the time. Bigla akong nagulat ako. Talagang nakakaranas kami ng mga retaliations. And inorienta kami ni Father that you might be experiencing mga resback ng kalaban. Yung maayos naman ako nagpaalam sa parents ko, bigla silang magagad for no apparent reason. So, pagbalik niya sa kama, syempre medyo madilim, biglang may tumulak sa kanya. May biglang bumukas ng pintuan At sumilip, mukha ko daw. Hindi naman uuwi yun ng tanghali. Alam ko, gagabihin yun. Pagkatapos kung magkasakit, ang parents ko, salit-salitan lang. Mula sa lupa, yung mga ganun. Doon ako kinilabutan.
Have you experienced something very like unexplainable or
Alam mo bang inuga yung aming kama?
meron ba talagang mga multo or mga nagpapakitang mga kamag-anak?
Talagang to the point na black and blue, halos talaga tinaningan na ako ng buhay.
Parang nandito na rin lang naman tayo. Bigyan natin to ng second sundot na episode. Kasi napanood ng ating mga viewers on last time. Welcome. Before anything else, we'd like to welcome you guys here on another podcast. But this one is a different podcast because we are in a car. Wala talaga sa plano to. Kaya lang na nagkikwento siya, parang biglang may gumana sa isang gabi. Nandito na kayo ba't di nyo pa simulan? Oo. So, before anything else, we'd like to invite you guys to follow. Sa mga nanonood dyan, mga naglalaba at mga nakikinig. Ayan, pwede kayong magpasok ng mga earphones sa tenga habang may ginagawa. Pakinggan nyo lang to. Very interesting ang topic natin ngayon because we will talk about spiritual warfare. And si Kuya Jason, papakilala ko sa inyo, si Kuya Jason is from the Secular Institute under
Company
of Saint Dominic. Ayan, oo. Pero I've known him, kung nakwento ko sa inyo last time regarding doon sa aking experiences with the occult and isa siya sa nagdala sa akin pabalik sa liwanag. Wow! Pabalik sa liwanag talaga, oo. Hindi, kasi I've known Kuya Jason since 2012. 2009 ata. 2009. Nung nag-aaral ako sa CEU. And then yung friend namin si April. Oo. Yun talaga yung friend niya. Tapos, pinakilala ko ni April sa kanya. And then, ever since then, hindi tayo nagkaroon ng communication.
Nagkaroon gap kasi na-busy, kumbaga.
Na-busy. Tapos, nagkaroon kami ng connection 2022. Tama? Oo. So, eto naman, nung nakilala ko siya, I was going through something. So, we will give you a quick background. May nangyari kasi sa akin noong 2022. It is a spiritual, how would I say? Spiritual, ano ba ito? Hindi naman siya parang confusion. Kasi parang at that time, parang nasa ko nun Parang, I don't know what's happening to me that time Pero, magulo yung ko nun, yung isip ko, oo, ganyan. So, nung nakita niyang nag-solitary retreat ako, doon kami nagkaroon ng connection and then I talked to him about what's happening to me. Ayun. So, si Kuya Jason ang magiging natin ngayon dahil ang expertise niya. Wow, expertise. Actually, naman siya, advocate siya, no? He's not necessarily part of the deliverance ministry but he is an advocate for spiritual warfare ministry and deliverance ministry. So, can you tell me more about it, Kuya? What is deliverance ministry? This deliverance ministry is all about and spiritual warfare.
Okay. So, spiritual warfare is a warfare. So, pakikipag laban sa actually sa day-to-day life natin. There's battle, no? Battle sa simply put, sa everyday life situations natin. But this one, if you're referring to talagang warfare as in spiritual, yun talaga yung pakikihimok sa mga hindi natin nakikita, yung mga invisible forces. I remember the prayer of Saint Thomas Aquinas, no? Merong prayer doon, no, na I think that was a Thanksgiving prayer after communion. No? May prayer doon na visible and invisible. So the visible is our everyday, yung ano natin, yung struggle natin. But the invisible one, these are yun na yung mga hindi natin nakikita. And these are unseen forces. Yeah. Yung mga evil spirits no lurking in the lives of the people, finding ways and means to destroy, no? Destroy. Sabi nga 'di ba, ang mga demonyo hindi ba nila masira o hindi man nila makaya ang Diyos na lumikha sa atin lahat. Kanino sila babaling? Kanino nila gagantihan ang Diyos? Kundi tayong mga nilikha niya. Yun. Para tayo ay masilo o matempt, mahulog sa kanyang patibong.
Pero kuya, I have a question, ano? Pero when we talk about demons, devil, exorcism, at this point, no, it seems to me, and I think for a lot of people watching us, no, it seems to me that not a lot of people, parang sobrang pag pinakinggan mo yung salitang mga ganon, parang, ano ba yan? Parang OA naman yan. Parang hindi naman yan masyado namang, hindi naman yan totoo. Or, I mean, what I say is that, is the devil really true? Does it really exist?
Okay, sa tanong na yan, although hindi ako expert, no? But in my own lesson, based dun sa mga natutunan ko sa pag-attend ko sa mga seminars on deliverance and exorcism through the years, sa mga different exorcists, the devil is real. If you look at the scriptures, many times binanggit doon ang existence ng demonyo at kung paano siya kumilos, no? May mga terms silang andun yung mga ancient demons like Beelzebul, Asmodeus, Belial, no? Andun lahat. Binanggit doon yung mga term na unclean spirit. These are not metaphor, or it's not just a simply na ano lang, likhang isip. They are real.
Why do they minimize it, kuya? Why do they minimize? Why do we minimize this this talk about demons? Even some, I mean, I'm not hindi lahat ng pare, no, but there are some priests that they see this as trivial things.
Yeah, because even sabi sa amin, may mga iba pa rin na well, I do not know, but here are just hearsays or naririnig ko lang na even may mga priest daw hindi rin naniniwala based doon sa mga naatinan kong
yes.
May mga iba hindi, parang they considered as parang hindi totoo. Yun nga, much more na metaphor, katang isip lang. And pagka may mga ganyan, they always refer it to, refer ka sa psychology, baka ano lang yan, nasisiraan lang ng paet. They reduce it simply because isa rin yan ina-aggravate ng kalaban ng demonyo.
Para so is it one way for them?
Yeah, it's one way for them kasi kanina nung nagkukwentuhan tayo, nabanggit ko na the devil wants us, make us believe they are not existing, they do not exist, para tayo ay magpatuloy sa pagkakasala, yung bang wala na tayong sense of sin. Kumbaga gusto nilang mahulog tayo sa patibong nila.
Kasi nga naman kung kung mapapaniwala nila tayo na hindi siya nag-exist, then we would not be kumbaga we won't feel guilty about it.
Exactly.
And hindi tayo, kumbaga parang, okay lang yan. We normalize it.
Normalize, totoo yan.
Which is what is really happening nowadays.
Exactly, exactly. Kaya nga nakakalungkot na, yun nga whenever I tell other people na they should not delve onto sa occult or any things that are related to the evil one. There's something they just make fun of us na, hey, it's 2025 na. Why believe all those things? Simply because yun ang gustong papaniwala sa atin ng demonyo eh. Na hindi sila nag-e-exist. And sabi nga, if the angels are, sabi nga kung sa SM, happy to serve, they are glad, no? They are happy to serve to us, to guide us. Contrary ito sa demonyo. Ayaw nila ng na-expose sila, ayaw nila na nag-e-exist sila. Kasi talagang because they want to attack us in a subtle way. Pailalim. So umaatake sila sa mga paraan na yan, katulad ng mga gawain na hindi makadiyos. Yun.
So I have a question for you, Kuya. How did you get involved, or how did you become interested in this kind of things in spiritual warfare, deliverance ministry? Yes.
Okay. Hindi ko exact when was it. Pero as far as I remember, when I was in elementary pa. So I just, all of the sudden I asked my mom na, sabi ko, ma, paano ba natin maika-cast out ang evil spirits? Sabi niya. Then, mother ko, sabi niya sa akin, you just simply say, in the name of Jesus, go away evil spirits. So, parang doon ako nagkaroon ng, ganun pala yun. And then, siguro for some time, nag-aral ako, as I, mga growing up years ko, it so happened na na-involve ako sa Catholic Charismatic Ministry.
Okay.
Na-involve ako noon. In fact, una kong, yun nga yung na-meet ko nun sila Father Mario Bihe, dito sa Christ the King. Father Mario Bihe is one of my mentors in the ministry of healing and deliverance. So, ma-attend ako sa kanya ng mga talks niya on healing ministry. May healing ministry pa noon, healing ministry pa noon. Parang ayaw ko pang mag-involve noon sa deliverance kasi
pero may deliverance ministry na.
Meron na siyang deliverance, involved na siya noon. And then, sabi ko, so uma-attend ako. I attend healing services, being prayed over by him. And then, of course, to be involved also in the community who also pray for people who are being troubled by their illnesses, spiritual, emotional, spiritual, physical, ganyan. So, hindi naman ako yung nag-lilihanas talaga. Pero, I just pray for this person. Now, way back parang 2006. So, parang na-express ko lang kay Father Mario. Sabi ko, Father, paano ba ma-involve sa ministry ng deliverance? Sabi niya, well, you can read books muna. Yan nga, yung kila Father. Parang lumabas na yung book ni Father Sikia at that time about exorcism.
Father Rossetti.
Father Rossetti. Kasi Father Rossetti wala pa noon. Way back 2006. So parang sila pa lang yung mga, nagsisimula pa lang ng si Father Sikia. Yung unang book niya, under-published pa yata. I forgot kung anong.
Father Sikia, by the way, is the Chief Exorcist of
the Archdiocese of Manila.
Okay.
Yun yung yung Archdiocese of Manila Office of Exorcism. So, siya pa lang ang exorcist noon, or may a few pero hindi ko pa kilala yung iba. Pero siya yung madalas kong na-attend na ng may mga talk seminars. And then, sabi ko, sige, nagbasa ako. May mga books ako, nag-delve ako into books related to spiritual work. So, occult. Hindi. Joke lang. Hindi, kasi aware na ako na alam ko hindi maganda. And then, I delve all those books, lalo na yung spiritual warfare kila Father Michael Scanlan, mga booklets lang yun, tapos mga booklets lang siya pero related to spiritual warfare. And then doon nakapagbasa ako, and then I got to know about yung mga entry points ng kalaban, yung ganito, yung ganyan, mga tools for spiritual warfare, ganyan. Pero ano pa lang yun, true books lang yun, pero hindi pa talaga yung talagang be part of the of the ministry talaga. Until alam mo yung idea na, so ma-attend ako nun sa I forgot already kung ano yung ministry dito sa Christ the King. Pero ang naanuhan ko na, simulan ko na yung The Light of Christ Healing Ministry ni Father Mario. And then, siguro parang mga 5 to 6 years bago ako nag-say yes. Oo.
So, do you think it's a calling?
I
Do you think it's a calling for you? And it's also, at the same time, it's also parang, I would say it's a vocation then for some. Kasi di ba parang, ano yun not everybody is called for that ministry, especially on that ministry.
Exactly,
diba?
yes,
Oo.
yes. Totoo. Mahirap ma-involve. Kaya nga may mga sabi nga, may mga nakakausap akong pare, they would rather, be involved in the catechetical, in the BEC, or any part of the ministries ng parokya, but not this one.
Oo.
Kasi talaga they know of the retaliatory attacks of the evil one.
Which we will be talking about in a bit.
Oo. Ewan ko ba kung bakit ang lakas ng loob ko. Sabi ko, Lord, kung hindi para sa akin to dyan, you just remove it. Sabi ko ganyan. So, I prayed for it. Kung talagang para sa akin at maging part ng ministry na to, then okay. If not, I would be accepting it wholeheartedly. Kumbaga. Kasi kailangan, sa ministry na to, kailangan with all humility talaga. Hindi ito yung talaga na yabang, uy, andito ako sa ministry na to. No. Kailangan there's always a process. All the more you really have to be humility, be humble,
and also yung purity of intention.
Oo. Kasi malalaman ng kalaban talaga yan.
Especially, totoo
yun.
Even if in other if you are discerning for a vocation,
yes, that's
sometimes
true.
kasi you discern at something pero hindi pala yun yung totoong intention of your heart without you being aware of it. Sometimes, may iba na nagmamadre. This is just an example to insert, nga hindi naman pala talaga nila gustong lang sila doon sa damit, yung itsura, but they're not, pero nung nandun na sila, hindi pala yun yung parang they just want na makita sila ng tao as pious or so it's a different kind of discernment talaga. It will really take a long time. So how long? 6 years yung sa'yo?
6 years, 6 years yung ano na yun, yung ano na yun. And then, if I am not mistaken, that was way back 2000, I think 2010 ba? 2011. I think, it's 2010.
So, nung nagkita tayo nasa deliverance ministry ka na nun?
So, while sabi ko, Father, I do not know kung ano ba. Tapos, one time during, si Father Mario kasi has this gift of, meron siyang gift of discernment talaga. So, every gift of discernment talagang, he discerns whenever they're being, being hanas talaga. So, one time, during the healing service, so, and I was being lined up na to be prayed over by him. Minensyon niya sa akin, sabi niya, Jason, I have received a message in my mind, at that time, while being, while waiting for to be laid hands, and be prayed over, sabi ko, Lord, when is the right time for me to be involved? Kasi kung hindi, okay lang naman din, sabi ko. And then, biglang nagsalita si Father Mario, Jason, I have received a message from the Lord. Now is the time. Biglang akong nagulat ako. Pero nasa mind ko lang yun. Nasa mind ko lang yun. Nasa mind ko lang yun na when is the right time. So, nung doon ako, after nung prayed over, that's the start. Hanggang sa isinasama na niya ako sa deliverance mission niya, sa mga buildings, sa mga schools. Talagang, alam mo, totoo talaga, when you are involved in the ministry, the Lord will sometimes allow you to be tested, no? Sabi nga doon sa Book of Sirach, if you want to serve the Lord, be ready for the trials, be ready for the test that will fall on you, because you are like gold to be tested on fire. And that thing happened to me. So talagang every ministry, every mission na deliver, pag uwi ko sa bahay, yung maayos naman ako nagpaalam sa parents ko, bigla silang magagad for no apparent reason. So may retaliatory attacks talaga. Minsan minsan yung pagka may mga Life in the Spirit seminar, kasama ko sa intercession ministry, talagang during prayer talaga ina-attack kung saan yung affected part ko na may masakit. So talagang if you are not spiritually prepared and fully prepared, kaya nga sabi ko, I always exhort people or others na before you leave the house, you pray the prayers of shielding and protection kasi hindi nyo alam, may mga tao kayong makakasalubong na maayos man manamit pero heavily involved pala sa occult or mga ganyan na ang aim nila is para sirain ka or to put a harm on you through curse, yan, through mga hexes, mga ganyan. So, ganun yung nangyari. So, every mission deliverance, nagiging success dun sa pero sa team, talagang nakakaranas kami ng mga retaliations. And that's normal kasi before pa naman nun, inorienta kami ni Father na you might be experiencing parang mga restback ng kalaban. Hindi man agad-agad, pwedeng it could be you, it could be your family, your loved ones, your relatives. So, be fully prepared for that.
I have a question, Kuya. Hindi ba to, like, some of our viewers may not be Catholic,
Yes.
Some may not even believe in this kind of things. Baka na ba na over-spiritualize naman? Masyado namang okay? Totoo ba yung ganyan na masyado naman na, totoo ba na may mga nagre-retaliate na pag ganyan? Baka naman ano nyo lang, ano to ng fig of imagination. Oo. So, yan.
Hindi. Kasi sa aking experience, nung una, skeptic din ako. Totoo ba? Nangyayari ba talaga to? Until I myself experience. Until my family experience.
So, can you tell me more about this experience?
Okay, those are experiences, lalo na yung father ko, talagang skeptic siya sa mga ganyan. Baka naman ano lang yan. OA naman. Until he experienced himself. Kasi, kwento niya sa akin na nung madaling araw, when he went to the comfort room, para mag do the thing, pagbalik niya sa kama, syempre medyo madilim, biglang may tumulak sa kanya. And I think that was between 2:30 to 3 a.m. So that's what they call the witching hour. Ito yung time na active ang mga evil spirits talaga. And then nagulat siya kasi hindi naman niya katabi si mama. Si mama kasi nasa isang kwarto. Parang nag-aano pa yata na may mga inaasikaso pa. May doon sa isang working room namin. Nagulat siya kasi wala naman siyang taong nakatabi. Tapos bigla siyang nakaramdam ng mabigat. So those are things. And then another thing is sa bahay namin kasi yung nangyayari mga doppelganger, yung nag-imitate mga voices. Minsan yung mother ko, akala niya nakauwi na ako, tanghaling dapat, naririnig daw niya boses ko. And then, nung na-realize niya na hindi pa ako, tinawagan niya, sabi niya, nakauwi ka na ba? Sabi niya, hindi pa, andito pa ako sa community namin. Bakit? Kasi akala ko, nakauwi ka na, sabi ka sa akin, Ma, sabi niya ganun ng boses. Nung hinanap niya ako, wala. And then, one time din, nung siya ay natulog yata na nag-siesta. So, yung ulo niya dun sa may paanan ng kama, ang pintuan na nandito. Parang naalimpungatan. Siya lang kasi, at saka yung father ko yata namalengke. Malis din ako nun. So, pag ganun niya, kasi may biglang bumukas ng pintuan at sumilip, mukha ko daw. Pero, later niya na-realize, hindi naman uuwi yun ng tanghali. Alam ko, gagabihin yun. Ako, referring me. Sabi. So, doon nila tsaka, napansin na rin namin pagkatapos, kung magkasakit, ang parents ko, salit-salitan lang. Palit-palitan lang, oo. Tapos, alam mo, napaka bigat. And then, yung aso namin, yung pagkakaalulong ng aso, talagang, alam mo minsan pagka yung alulong niya, yung the simple alulong lang Pero merong alulong na mula sa lupa, yung mga ganun. Doon ako kinilabutan. Doon kami, kaya sabi ko, doon na napagtanto ng father ko na kailangan patawag na natin si Father Mario.
So, eto na yung time na to. Pero during that time, if I may ask, nandito ka na ba? Were you already working with Father Mario that time in the ministry? So, were you assisting him na?
Yes, nag-a-assist.
Okay.
Nag-a-assist na ako nun. Although hindi naman ako yung madalas na nakakasama niya kasi
Yes.
minsan kasi pag hindi naman ako available. Pero pag nagkataon na nag-invite siya sa amin o merong mission deliverance sa ganitong area, sa ganitong at libre naman ako, wala akong pasok, nakakasama ako. Kasi tinataon din ni Father yung mga holidays na yung talagang lahat makakaano. Pero may mga times din na hindi rin ako pag urgent na talaga at hindi naman lahat kung sino yung immediate na makakasama sa kanya. So, ang ginagawa ko is I just pray for them. So, nagsaserve ako as prayer warrior intercessory para sa success nung ministry na yun, nung mission na yun. So, ganun yung
so, ang team ninyo, for those people who are listening, so, si Father Mario is with a team, tama?
Yes, with the team, yeah.
Then, meron din tinatawag na intercessory group or prayer warriors.
Prayer warriors.
Who are praying for this group.
Na
for protection.
During their mission na deliverance, during this ministry.
So, hindi lang ito basta sa sa grupo lang.
Yes.
So, there would be parang backup. Tama?
Yes, parang babackupan ka namin spiritually. Minsan nga kahit even if you are in the intercessory ministry or prayer warriors ministry, they also experiencing retaliations. Meron talaga. Kasi ibig sabihin lang nun, yes, nakakatakot isipin na bakit ganun, nagdadasal lang kayo para sa kanya, pero because for me, it also purifies our intention as well. And for me, sa part ko hindi ako natakot dun kasi alam mo kung bakit, because there is now the grace that is happening. Meron ng nangyayaring kung nakakaranas ka ng ako sabi ko ipagbunyi mo yan. Ibig sabihin lang nun nararatel ang kalaban. Ibig sabihin
na-aggravate
sila na sila na parang nadidisarray sila, parang ganyan. So, yun ang kaya sabi nila, tanong nila sa akin, hindi ka ba natataas? Sabi ko, kung ikaw ay tinawag ng Diyos sa part na ito, hindi ka dapat matakot. At kung makaranas man ng ganitong retaliation, the Lord will not allow you even to yung pinakasukdulan. He will just allow you na para ma-purify ka at ma-increase yung mo sa kanya, pananampalataya mo sa kanya, yung holiness of life, yung to be more humble, yung grace, at talaga to give glory and honor to God, yun ang pinaka-aim naman ng na to. And itong ministry na to, it's not, sabi nga, ito rin sinasabi ni Father Siquel every time I listen to his talks, exorcism or ministry of warfare or deliverance ministry, it's not all about the devil.
Yes.
It's all about the love of God.
Which is, I think, may I cut you for a bit?
Yes.
So, I think this is really important that a lot of our viewers are aware. Kasi, nagiging kasi parang na-highlight when it comes to for example, Halloween.
Yes.
Or yung mga kakatakutan. It's like glorifying parang ang focus hindi na doon yung victory ni God in the process,
yes,
right? But they're focusing on the devil, on the evil
spirits,
one. So they try to parang give more picture.
Yes.
Which should not be the case, especially pag Halloween. Supposedly for Halloween, especially to our viewers, ang Halloween is not supposed to be about the evil ones.
Yeah.
Because you're not supposed to wear
mga demonic
costumes or something. Because hallow, from the word hallow, it means holy. Diba?
Yeah,
Kaya hallowed be thy name. Diba?
Yeah, hallowed.
So hallow means holy. So it should be a holy day because of the saints.
Yes. Kaya nga, ito rin ang pakiusap din ng simbahan na instead na suotan natin ng mga bata or tayo, halimbawa when we join instead of joining Halloweens, wearing those demonic or ng mga nakakatakot na scary figures or mga costumes, why should not wear mga saintly mga saintly na mga costumes, no?
Yes.
To imitate the saints, the virtues that they practice. Ito naman talaga ang aim noon eh.
Ito talaga yung, traditionally it says this is what is supposed to be.
Yes.
No. So Kuya Jason, now that you have experienced all this retaliation, no, and it did not stop you from So were there do you have any experiences na hindi mo makakalimutan during one of your mission? Have you experienced something very like unexplainable, or ano yung tumatak sa'yo na experience when you did or went to have your with Father Mario?
Father Mario, yun nga sa mga sa mga schools during the healing services, minsan doon may mga piniprayer talaga, may mga shrieking, may mga talaga, pero sa una matatakot ka kasi nga bakit may mga pero kalaunan, no, pagtagal, yun yung sabi ko, yun na nga, if you're being called to this, hindi ka dapat matakot.
May hindi ka ba may hindi ka ba makakalimutang experience?
Siguro kung yung isang experience, siguro may, I would say dalawa.
Okay.
Dalawa. Yung itong recently nangyari sa akin,
okay.
Na I was talagang, ito alam ko, sabi kasi sa akin nung aking kakilalang religious Franciscan priest na brother, na he sensed that I experienced the biggest retaliation. Ito yung yung aking health sa stomach ko, talagang nag-rupture talaga siya. Kasi yun whenever you are helping other people magbalik loob, no, yung conversion, the devil is not pleased on that, and he will find ways and ways to you to retaliate you. At yung mga sakit na alam niyang meron ka, doon niya i-aggravate. And it did happen to me. Kaya the whole year akong talagang, I would say, nagkaroon ng sepsis, talagang to the point na black and blue, halos talaga tinaningan na ako ng buhay. Pero hindi ako sumuko. Kasi I know that it is, sabi ko, Lord, kung if this is your way to clean you all the more, I'll accept this punishment, and I know you allowed this to be purified. So 1 year, that's 1 whole year of talagang retaliation, nag-suffer talagang meron akong bleeding, merong abscess na umaano sa tiyan ko, talagang it almost a year talaga. Pero sabi nga doon sa nung yun nga yung the value of suffering, yung value of victim mo, sabi niya, when you offer your sufferings for the Lord, especially for the conversion sinners, for those persons who are in need, and then you offer it. So sabi ko, I accepted it as an offering, and I offered it for those who ask prayers. Thanks be to God. Alam mo naman yun, yung meron akong pinaglaanan na prayer na, may pinaglaanan ako yun. And thanks be to God na ayos, na I heard also those who are, may mga conversion, na enlightened. Yes, you suffered, but when you offer it to God, it will be more meritorious. It may be also be a retaliatory, pero talagang in-entrust ko yun na sa mahal na Birhen. Yun ang pinakanasan. And then, the second one, yung hindi ko ito makakalimutang isa na, nung nag-discernment retreat ako, way back 2019 I think this is in 2019 in Lipa, sa isang seminaryo, kasi they always inviting men for spiritual exercise retreat. And it happened in a Holy Week. So we started Holy Wednesday to Easter Sunday. So all boys kami, may mga may high school, may mga professionals like me. Ako yata ang doon I think second or third na eldest. No? First or second day namin, kasi we're talking about spiritual exercise of St. Ignatius. Nung kinabukasan, ang itatopic namin, discernment of the spirits, the night before, may nangyari pala, hindi ko alam. Doon kasi isang, kami noon parang dormitory type.
May
Ano,
parang
double deck, oo,
bunker bed.
bunker bed, yan. And then, yung bunker bed na yun, gawa siya sa Nara. And then, when I woke up, the following morning, so, i-discuss na namin yan, nagkukumpulan yung mga yung mga kasama ko. Sabi ko, why? What happened? Sabi ko, naku kuya, sabi nila, alam mo bang inuga yung aming kama? Ha? Sabi ko, bakit naman ugain? Trinay ko yung na made of Nara. Hindi naman siya, and it will take 10 people, to move it.
Kasi mabigat.
Mabigat, inuga daw talaga. And yung kama ko lang daw, ang hindi, kasi napansin nila, ang sarap daw ng tulog ko. Kasi sarap talaga ng gising ko, sarap ng tulog ko. Hindi talaga sila nakatulog because they experienced it. And then, I remembered na before I went to bed, I prayed the shielding prayers and then sprinkle holy water and then exercise salt. And then I placed my crucifix beside. So, asking the Lord to protect my sleep, the surroundings, ganyan. Sabi pa nga nung kasama ko, nagbiro, paano gagalawin niya si Kuya Jason? Ang Holy Family na sa kanya. Kaya hindi yan naharasin. Pero, sabi nga nila doon, pag talagang ang topic ay discernment of the spirits or talagang mga topic patungkol sa
spiritual
warfare demonyo, talagang the devil will find ways and means talaga to disrupt you, to give you fear. Implant fear para hindi mo siya pag-usapan. So, ganun yung na yun. Pero thanks be to God, na na-overcome naman nila. So, I told them. So, I gave them little catechesis. And it so happened, nakakatuwa because talagang pinag-adyan ng Panginoon. Yung ibang mga young professionals yun, yung nag-introduce sa akin sa LMS, si Brother John David, umaattend din sila kay Father Mario B. So, aware sila about spiritual warfare, alert sila. So, I taught them catechesis on this and that, how to protect themselves. Pag may confession mamaya, you avail the sign confession. Kasi doon, pagmumula ng kalaban, kung ano man yung mga kasalanan natin, ng mga entry points natin, sabi ko. And this is an opportune time for us. The Lord is inviting us, to be always in the sacrament of reconciliation. Sabi nga dun sa pinapanood ko dun sa One in Their Hearts ni Father Bing Arillan. Kasi I always attend the Alliance of the... That's one thing also. Ma-attend din ako ng mga talks nila about deliverance and exorcism. Sabi doon, Jesus always waits for us in the sacrament of reconciliation. Do not delay the graces that He will bestow on you and the forgiveness, the mercy, and compassion. Yun yung mga pangyayari na talaga. Kaya yun yung naalala ko yung sinabi ni Father Sikia, na i-infest ang isang lugar kapag merong pinangyarihan ng krimen, may pinangyarihan ng mga halimbawa ng drugs, ritual, occult, satanika, yung mga patayan, yung commit ng suicide. Kasi yung bigat yung anger, andun lahat So yun na nagiging open doors for the evil spirits to infest the place. Yun. Contrary dun sa sinasabi nila na kasi dyan may mga kaluluwang ligaw. There's no such thing as...
that's the question that I will ask then. Meron ba talagang mga multo? Or is there really such a thing as ghosts? Or multo? Or mga nagpapakitang mga kamag-anak? Okay.
So based
sa turo ng simbahan.
Okay, sa turo ng simbahan kasi, sa Catechism of the Catholic Church, meron tayong tinatawag na meron tayong tinatawag na two kinds of judgment. General judgment and particular judgment. Yung general judgment, yun nga yung sinasabi niya sa huling araw ng pagdating ng ating Panginoon, yung second coming niya. But for the particular judgment, ito yung when a person dies, immediately he or she will be judged either in heaven, purgatory, or hell. So there's no such thing as wandering soul na tinatawag.
So walang ligaw na kaluluwa.
Walang ligaw. There's no such thing.
So ano pala ang mga ligaw na kaluluwa?
Those are, sabi sa amin, yung mga nakikita doon nating namatay doon na kamag-anak, those are evil spirits disguised as Kasi alam nila na we are on, halimbawa, lalo pag bago lang na namatayan, we are in the process of grieving. And evil spirits, doon nila sinasamantala yung grieving natin para ma-uplift yung weakness natin, para mahulog tayo dun sa victim nila. But in reality, those are evil spirits, this mimicking our dead relatives.
So there's those such thing as, kasi diba, if I may, may mga ibang mga, well, as I thought before, because I was also part of the occult,
Yes,
no?
yes, yes.
Because I do like, may mga seances yung iba. So they talk to the dead people, talk to the spirits of the dead people.
Yes.
Because someone died in the house, and they
Yes.
talk to the spirits. Do they really exist?
No, they are not.
They do not.
They do not.
And that's the teaching of the Catholic Church.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Kasi ang mga souls naman, doon nga daw natin malalaman according sa mga saints at sa turo din ng simbahan, ang soul, a soul of a person, I think Saint Padre Pio, if I'm not mistaken, kapag ang isang kaluluwa, well, sometimes with God's permission,
God allows
that
it.
allows it. Oo. Hindi para manakot. To us only for prayers. Because these souls, sinasabi ng poor souls, these are holy souls in purgatory, waiting their turn, waiting their
They're actually in purification.
in purification.
Correct.
Yan. Asking only for prayers, no more,
No
no
less.
less. Oo. At wala kang takot na mararamdaman kasi you feel the real presence of the sacred. Pero kapag nakaramdam ka ng takot, ng kilabot, those are evil spirits. At yung sinasabi ng mga espiritista, yung mga ganyan,
Seances.
mga seances na andito ang sasapi sa akin, wala rin pong kakayahan ang mga souls sumapi sa katawan ng tao. Only the evil spirits can do that. Only the demons can do that. And only the devil can do that.
Well, actually, that I think I would have to agree because when I learned about that, I was listening to a couple of podcasts in the US, no, especially doon sa mga nanonood, you can follow Lila Rose or Lila Rose, no, and she was talking to a couple of exorcists in the US, and they were talking about, or even I heard one podcast, no, just to give you an idea, that Lila Rose was talking to psychic, or parang may ability siya to talk to the dead people daw, ganyan, no? So, apparently, what she found out was that during the course of her conversion, she found out that the devil would actually manifest siya to a person that you love. Tapos, because sa isip ng mga ng mga demonyo, ng mga the devils that would be around, no? Nakabantay sila sa atin or nakatingin sila sa atin while we are still young. So, nasa paligid sila, 'di ba? Nanonood sila. So, sometimes you would think na totoo yun. Minsan, 'di ba, tatanong, totoo ba 'yon na nakikita nila kumaga nagtanong ka sa espiritista. Tapos may sinabi yung yung psychic na ikaw lang yung may alam. 'Di ba? Pero ang totoo nun, kaya alam ng spiritista kasi nakita nung devil na yon what you were doing.
Yes.
'Di ba? So, syempre it's between you and yourself and the devil that time that you cannot see. So, akala mo ikaw lang talaga mag-isa. Pero kaya niya nasabi yun kasi nandun siya nung nasa pangyayari yon. Pero the devil cannot read our mind and our hearts.
Yes.
That's right, di ba?
Tama.
So, they cannot read our minds and heart. They can only say things based on their observation. So, ang mga demonyo, mga evil spirits, they can only see us through their observation while observing us while we cannot see them.
Yes.
No, so ganon. So, another question, Kuya, is that since you are in the deliverance ministry, no, what are the typical problems or what are the typical causes of the spiritual attacks, or yung nga, since we are in spiritual warfare, saan madalas nanggagaling yung mga atake na nanggagaling sa kalaban?
Okay, so mostly based din ito dun sa mga ang mga taong nakausap ko sa pag-attend ko rin ng mga seminars related sa spiritual. Mostly kasi yan yung involvement sa occult.
Yun talaga yung number
Oo,
one.
yung number one, involvement sa occult, New Age, yan, paniniwala sa pamahiin. Meron din, halimbawa may mga relatives na mga ancestors nila, mga ninuno nila na heavily involved sa occult, na mga albularyo, mantatawas, na involvement sa witchcraft. So, yun. Maaring...
Ako ba pinaparinggan mo?
Ay, hindi.
Ako ba yun?
Hindi naman masyado. So, may mga ganun. Minsan kasi, may mga iba na hindi man sila interested at the present generation. Pero kasi yun nga, yung generational bloodline. Minsan yun yung parang, kumbaga, ikaw yung highly talaga kung papasahan ka ng, sabi nga nila, papasahan ka ng mga yung mga sinasabi nilang kapangyarihan. Oo. Yan. Gana kung ang mga ninuno mo ay
pinamanahan ka ng mga karunungang
itim. Oo. Yung mga libro na mga
libro ng kadilim.
Yung mga ritual. So yun yung pinaka niya na minsan nagiging involved, yung mga involvement sa ganyan. Yun yung nagiging doorways ng evil spirits.
Yun yung number one.
Yun yung number one. Siyempre, yung mga galit, yung mga puot, yung mga generations of matagal nang may mga alitan.
At saka yung sexual immorality.
Sexual morality, yes. Mga sins talaga.
Abortion.
Yes, abortion. Yan ang pinaka talaga. Diyan kumakapit ang demonyo.
Especially when there are even bouts of weakness and because of depression.
Depression, yes. So it can be
yung vulnerability.
Vulnerability, yes, that's true. So yun yung mga yun yung mostly
mga
entry points talaga. Yan. Yung mga occult, yun nga yung mga pagpapahula, yung mga paglalagay ng mga lucky charm sa bahay, yung mga pagfeng shui, although with due respect sa mga natin, na mga kakilala natin mga Chinese, pero this is not aligned to sa ating Katoliko, hindi align ito sa turo ng simbahan. Lalo na yung mga minsan,
yoga rin, di ba?
Yoga, yan, mga crystals.
Actually, nagulat din ako kasi I didn't know that even yoga was part of the Kasi when I read or I watched someone I think it was a podcast then, and she told that there are certain types of movements that is dedicated to a certain god.
So I think Shiva yata yun, or what's
a part of that is like an entry point
yes,
especially with the emptying.
Yun yung
I remember.
Yan. Kaya yung iba akala nila it's a simple exercise, but it's not. So talagang you form a movement na talagang resemblance to those gods. Yun yung pinaka doon. Yun din diniscuss din yan sa amin.
And that is something that not a lot of people know.
Yes, yun ang talaga. Kaya nga
bakit sasabihin nila, ano ba yan? Exercise naman yan, maganda naman sa katawan. Hindi naman siya kumbaga parang, lang naman yan, napaka-OA nyo naman, pati exercise, pati ba naman yun?
Lahat, Well, let us remember occult from the Latin word occultus, or occult, which means hidden. So lahat ng gawain, ang kalaban, ang demonyo, gagawa yan, hindi naman siya gagawa ng naka-expose in broad daylight, ika nga. Pero gagawa siya niyaan sa paraan na hindi mo nga nalang, in a subtle way. Patago, palihim, pailalim. And before you know it, nasa enslaved ka na niya.
Kumbaga nandun ka na. Too late na.
Yes. So akala natin yung mga minsan ginagawa natin harmless lang. Wala lang. Exercise lang, pero hindi natin alam
that they're already doing it.
They're doing it.
Does it affect even if you don't know? I mean, for example, if I'm not aware, paano nakaka-apekto yun, kuya, sa isang tao na hindi naman siya, like, for example, would you say na ang isang Hindu believer na gumagawa noon, could it be na wala naman siyang idea na that would be demonic or that would be or something like, for example, a regular person who doesn't have any idea about that, could it still be, could the devil still affect that person even though he doesn't, or he or she is ignorant about it?
Well, sa akin na, there's always a saying, ignorance of the law excuses no one. So, kung may mga paraan at paraan na pwedeng maging passing din yan. Well, social media is very, so, somehow, dadaan yan sa reels mo. And somehow makikita mo, about yoga. Ano nga bang process? Sometimes, pagka clinic mo yung yoga, may makikita kang good for exercise, pero may nagsasabi na it is an evil one. So, doon ka ngayon andun yung curiosity mo, anong meron dito? Bakit sinasabi nila? So, you're going to study it. So, yun ang din. Yun ang pinaka... Although, well, hindi ko... Medyo, actually, mahirap. Mahirap talaga, no? It depends. It depends, no? Kung nakaka-apekto rin ba sa mga tang hindi...
Walang idea about it. Pero I think, no, it's about... if I remember it correctly in another podcast then, may mga ganong scenario talaga. It is when, I don't know if when God allows it to manifest, kasi sometimes nangyayari sa isang, pareho kayo ng sitwasyon, let's say nagpa-abort kayo pareho, pero yung isa parang hindi naman siya, wala namang possession na naganap. Ganito, ganyan. Pero yung isa meron.
Yes.
So, hindi siya, not all two is the same. Pero parehong may consequence.
Yes.
Parehong may effect.
Parehong may effect. Siguro, hindi pa sa napapanahon. Pwede ring...
it could manifest in other things. It's not merely like super... Like may mga possession, infestation.
Yes,
it might not be on that part, pero pwedeng sa isang tao, ganun ang maging effect.
Niya.
No?
Kasi I remember nga, sabi nga, kung makaka-apekto ba sa tanghi, walang kamali-malay na ganito, na hindi nila alam. Well, yun ang aim ng kalaban eh. Hindi niya ipapaalam na dangerous pala to. So, until you yourself experience it, makikita mo na yung symptoms na. Kasi, syempre, unless na lang kung talagang, katulad ko, na-aware na ako sa ganito, and then suddenly may mga nakita mo ng, you still do it. Or, may iba, aware na about spiritual warfare, and yet, may alam na sa spiritual warfare, and then nakita mo na may hindi ka na mag-aano niyan, hindi ka na susubok, kumbaga. Kasi you're already aware eh. Sabi nga, di ba, you don't need to taste the sign if it is poisonous or not. Kung makikita mong meron ng bungo na sign eh, alam mong poisonous yun eh. Yun ang pinaka Kaya
so ano naman kuya ang how would I say, ano naman sa tingin mo, like, because meron tayong tinatawag ng mga chief exorcist, mga exorcists in the diocese, and of course we are very limited with this, with the priests who's handling it. You know, they can only take so much, especially with cases, no?
Exactly.
So you have deliverance as a lay person, kasi usually ang mga nasa deliverance ministries guided by a priest. But may mga lay people tayo na who are also in this ministry. And you as a lay person na part of this ministry, how should one protect themselves from all retaliatory attacks, or even for me as a lay person na just interested or just curious about how should I protect myself from all this, from
all this
the supernatural harassment.
Okay, first and foremost, bilang isang advocate, kasi sabi nga kung merong mental health advocate, meron ding advocate for this, awareness. Very, very first, awareness. Lalo kung halimbawa, in my case, na na natutunan ko ito sa pag-a-attend ko sa mga seminars on exorcism seminars for this past years. Sinishare ko to sa iba. Evangelization is very important. Catechesis with other people. Well, don't expect na, yun nga, na tatanggap nila yung agad-agad ganitong about spiritual warfare. It may be received with enthusiasm, it might be received with skepticism, it might be, or they may not receive it at all. But what is important is you are fulfilling your mission and apostolate in, making this make these teachings be aware to all. And then for kung paano natin may protect natin, alam mo, yes, there are prayers for shield and protection, but the best is frequent reception of the sacraments. Yeah.
And always in the state of grace.
Grace, yes. Yung confession, daily mass, Marian devotion, reading of the Bible,
receiving the Holy Communion,
adoration. Yung tinatawag nga na ng care, confession, adoration, rosary, Eucharist. So yun, doon pa lang, kasi sacraments, let us remember, is more powerful than the sacramentals. I'm not saying na hindi importante sacraments, pero ang ano pa rin natin is the sacraments, because sacraments,
it's
a
gift.
It's a gift.
It's a gift. Jesus gave that to us. Yeah. So, it is the highest form of gift, diba? Na iniwan niya sa atin.
Yeah.
So, regardless if you wear all these sacramentals like what I'm wearing right now, even if you have a lot of crosses at home, or even if you have all these prayers, novenas and everything,
kung hindi ka
you're not in the state of grace.
If there is no amendment of life, walang pagsisi, walang pagbabalik loob, baliwala.
It doesn't
follow.
Or if you are I mean, important talaga na lagi tayong nasa
state of grace talaga. And then yun nga yung pag-adhere sa mga sacraments. And then if you're experiencing this kind of ang first na sinasabi din ng mga exorcists, go to your parish priest. Kasi ang parish priest ang unang mag-assess sa inyo. And then the parish priest will be the one to inform the ministry. So yun yung parang protocol na inano ng mga exorcists para maiano nila, maisabi doon sa ministry. Yun ang and then avoid involvement in the occult, New Age practices, yung mga pamahiin. Kasi yun nga, sinasabi nga nila, wala namang mawawala kung susubukan. Actually, meron hong nawawala yung pananampalataya natin sa Diyos. For example, magpapabless ka ng bahay, tapos magpapasabog ka ng barya. So parang insulto ho yun sa Diyos. You're telling the Lord na, Lord, hindi pa sapat ang blessing mo.
Dagdagan mo pa.
Dagdagan ba? Oo, hindi pa. Pero kailangan meron pa kaming may others pa kami para sure na sure.
Oo, para more chances of winning.
Yan ang Nako, yan ho ay insulto sa Panginoon. If you believe that the Lord
at yung pagpapadugo
sa bahay. Yun ay hindi ho pagtataboy sa evil spirits. Yun ho ay pagbibigay karapatan sa mga demonyo to own your place. Kasi sabi nga if I remember it correctly, yan ang frustration ng mga evil spirits yung sila ay sambahin. So this is the only way for them yung ma-offeran sila ng mga dugo. Kasi dugo ay buhay.
Yan yung talaga na bond, blood bond ang tawag na dyan.
Blood bond. Yan ang pinaka
blood contract.
Kaya nga kailan lang napakinggan ko yung isang exorcist, sabi niya, kaya nga yan din daw nagiging niya sa mga engineers, architects, kasi minsan talagang ang talaga pag may groundbreaking, padugo. Kasi nga naman ganito ganyan. Pero yun lang, hindi nila alam, nare-realize na that is also consecration to the devil yung by padugo.
Ang natin kuya diyan is ang dami kasing mga tao na they're not really aware of this, no? And where should they go if they want to learn more about what the church is actually teaching? and what they just know from people. Kasi 'di ba, may sabi ng ganito, sabi kasi ng lola, sabi ni ganito. Pero ano ba talaga ang turo ng simbahan? Kanino dapat ba tayo talaga lumapit? Sino ang may alam when it comes to all this kind of things?
Well, let us ask yun nga, mag-consult tayo sa authorities ng simbahan, especially those,
especially in this kind of things, no?
In this kind of things. Well, if you want to know more about this, meron pong mga naka-upload sa mga YouTubes about mga talks on this.
Punta sa kanilang
Sa
mga
kanilang
diocese na may exorcist.
May exorcist, yan.
Hindi naman ibig sabihin na pupunta ka sa exorcist ay may automatic sinasapian
ka na. Oo. You need to be aware. And then may mga announcement din na minsan sa mga parish may mga talks on spiritual warfare.
Oh, you
ganyan.
should attend, guys. So,
Yeah,
you would learn a lot.
Yes,
I
that's
learned
true.
a lot then during the course of listening to me as an occultist before. I learned so much about my Catholic faith.
Yes.
And even doon sa mga tinuturo ng simbahan about
yes.
it.
Oo, yun ang pinaka-ano. Pwede nyo lang po i-type yung sa YouTube, no? Exorcism and Deliverance,
spiritual
Diocese
warfare,
Diocese in
Catholic.
the Philippines, ganyan. Mag-appear po yung mga different exorcists like Father Siquia, Father Jose Siquia,
Father Nonet,
Father Nonet Legaspi, Father Jojo
Zerudo,
Father Daniel Estacio, Father Jeffrey Quintela.
Yes.
Yan. So, dun lang po kami nakakapanood for updating and para malaman din natin yung awareness ika.
Correct.
Yun ang kasi doon po dinidiscuss din nila yung different types of mga attacks, retaliations, what to do, how are we going to protect ourselves. Yun ang
So how are we going to prepare ourselves from the battle?
Yes, exactly.
So can you say that we are in the times right now that we are in a spiritual battle or spiritual warfare? How can you say that?
Sabi nga, we are now in the end times. End times hindi ibig sabihin end of the world na, but this is parang sabi nga nila, it's an aim of purification, a call to conversion, a call to repentance, amendment of life. And while we have the time, no, patuloy po tayong magbalik loob sa Panginoon.
Correct.
Sa mga sa Santa Iglesia. Magbalik loob po tayo sa mga sakramento ng simbahan kasi ito po yung magbibigay protection sa atin at protection, ito yung to build yung ating prayer life, yung relasyon po natin sa Diyos. So, yun po yung pinaka-ano po talaga.
Ayan. So, andito na tayo sa ating end of our, at sa susunod, kuya. Of course, kakausapin natin ang mga expert.
Yes.
Mag-i-invite ako ng isang exorcist dito.
To tackle
really more. Kasi you are talking on behalf of the lay people in the deliverance ministry, right?
Based sa aking mga natutunan.
Correct. So we should talk more about, later on in the future kung ano naman yung mga turo ng simbahan.
Yes.
Coming from an exorcist.
Yes.
So again, guys, thank you so much. No, I know medyo nabitin kayo. If you have any more questions or if you have your thoughts, comment it down below and please subscribe on this channel. Subscribe and we'll talk more about this in the future and follow us for more in our podcast. It's gonna be more kasi this month kasi is more of mga talaga yan mga usapang mga yan dahil October 31, mga katatakutan talaga. Pero 'di ba, we're not celebrating the evil one.
Yeah.
But we are teaching them, of course, what is the truth behind the learnings or the teachings of the Catholic Church. Yes. So again, thank you so much for watching. We are here now sa pupuntahan namin at nagamit natin yung oras sa makabuluhang paraan. Maraming salamat. Thank you so much, Kuya Jason.
Yeah, thank you so much, Brother Janelle, for having me here in your podcast.
Yes, and thank you so much and we hope to see you on the next one. Bye everyone.
Bye po.